Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors in Winston, Chester. Glad you're here this morning. Got a great show lined up. But first, our weather. Always brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin and Highway 77. All kind of neat things out there. I know a lot of the personnel that work out there. They're conscientious. They work hard. I know a lot of our students would go there, and just a good program. It just makes our community a better place for folks going through there and learning a good trade. Today now is going all the way up to 78, so that warming trend is good. What it is, we have these chilly mornings, which are beautiful. I mean, beautiful sunrises and just beautiful time of the day, and then it's sort of warming up during the day. So it's really good fall weather, but it's going to really warm up through the weekend. It's going to get on up to 82. The water temperature, first time this year since this past winter, it has dropped below 70, folks. It's at 69.4. is water temperature now. Now air temperature is going to get down to 60 degrees tonight, so that warming trend will continue. But like I say, it's been a fast drop this year. I watch it every year on the water temperature drop. It really, within the past week and all, it's gone down like 7 degrees, so it's been fascinating. Take a look at the river readings brought to us by Sandhill Seafood, right north of Bozeman on Highway 77. We're looking at the river reading Appalachian Coast is at a 4.1. It's pretty steady. It's really going to be some good fishing this weekend. The river and all those sloughs and everything is beautiful this time of year with the leaves changing. And if you get up there, sort of, just look around. It's a gorgeous time of year to be on the river. The Choctaw at Caraville is dropping out, but it's still up at 7 foot, so pretty high right there. Tide chart brought to us by Kent, Forest Lawn and Funeral Home and Cemetery. Neat tides. Today is November the 1st. It's going to be Christmas before you know it. So we're into November now, but the tides today, not all that good. Looking on Saturday, though, they're going to really kick in Saturday. We've got some strong tides for Saturday morning, so looking good there. Marine forecast, south-southeast at about 5 to 10. We're going to take a break and come back with our special guest. Okay, welcome back and welcome to our guest, Travis Bashford.
Good morning.
Glad to have you, Travis.
It was a pleasure.
You've been pretty busy?
Yes, sir, I have.
Hey, but listen, you took some time off.
Finally did, yeah. We took a little vacation up to Georgia, Atlanta, Blue Ridge, you know, up in the mountains in there. And
well, I know, it's beautiful this time of year, isn't it?
Yeah, the colors up there were like probably peak, you know, and we had some cold nights. It was nice weather and really good to get away because it's just been a hectic last couple months really at work with the hurricanes and regular stuff and everything else. So
yeah, the way you hit the nail on the head, you do your regular stuff, which is very time consuming, strenuous, and stressful.
It
and
is.
Then you throw the hurricanes on top of it.
Yeah.
Y'all been busy.
Tell you what, yeah, I feel like I was out of town for a month and a half there.
Yeah.
You know, August and September. So
you took some time off and went up there, but now you did something special too. Now your wife loves marine life, right?
She does, yeah.
Nicole is always, I mean, I remember when she was here talking about all the little things she used to do.
That's her passion right there for sure.
So you took her by the Georgia Aquarium.
We did, yeah. And the cool thing about it was, you know, she learned scuba dive when she was like 9, 10 years old in Puerto Rico. Her mom was like the first female instructor, which was really neat. So she's very comfortable in the water, been doing it from a very young age, and she's on her FWC dive team. But a couple years ago, I'd got her a dive with these, there's whale sharks at the Georgia Aquarium. Mm-hmm. She wasn't able to go. She ended up tearing her hamstring playing softball.
I remember that.
And then, you know, between Isabella and everything else, well, she finally got to go on the dive, and I got some pictures here.
I got some pictures. Tell us about this first one now.
Well, it was just amazing because they have four whale sharks in there. They've got jacks, groupers, snappers, everything else you can imagine, and all different types of species of sharks and rays. But the cool thing is, this is the only place in the United States that has whale sharks. It's the largest aquarium we have in the U.S., and I was doing some research on it while we were there. It's like 6.3 million gallons, this exhibit of water.
Gracious.
And it's pretty cool. It's like I think about a football field long, and then it's kind of circular, kind of oblong shape. But that's one of them there coming by.
You look there, you think you're in the Keys or something, you know?
Oh yeah, it's pretty amazing. And then this is her down there with them. Some of the best pictures didn't happen because I was actually chasing Isabella around a little bit, but that's her at the bottom of the screen there, the whale shark going over them, and there's some portfish and jacks and rays.
Oh,
but
cool.
Pretty cool. I mean, you know, at one point I think one of them was in about, you know, probably 10 feet from her. Wow. And this is a 20-plus foot shark, which is pretty neat. But the cool thing is, as big as they are, their throat's only like the size of a quarter or something. They were saying.
No kidding.
So they can't.
That's why they do nothing big.
Yeah, and they were feeding them those creel or whatever, the little shrimp. But there's her and Isabella. But it was a cool experience.
She's on the inside there. Isabella's at the window.
Yeah, looking at the window, waving at Mama.
She's probably trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, it took her a minute. I was trying to explain to her, but anyways, and she had a blast too. But it was a pretty cool dive. I think there was 8 or 9 of them on that dive, and there were people from all over the United States come there and do that. There's one in the background. If you look, it's kind of dark, but that's one of the big whale sharks in the background. Of course, there's tarpon all suspended out there. I mean, it was a cool dive. It was pretty neat. So,
man, you got the fever to go fishing, didn't you?
Yeah, I tell you what, you see some of those warsaws in there and everything, and then that was up there by the cabin, just showing the colors. It was just about peak. Really pretty area up there. I know a lot of people are familiar with Blue Ridge and Ella J and all that. So it was a good trip.
That is a really special place up there, and I'm so glad y'all got to get some time off and get up there. So
it was fun.
Yeah. So now you're back to the grind.
Back to it, and glad to be back. It's always fun to get away, and it's fun to get home. But back to it, and hunting season's in full swing. So
we were talking about the other day. We spent about that much time up in Kentucky last week, and I don't like to stay away from home too long.
Right.
about a
week's
about
all
a week
you want.
is my max. Some people hit the road and go, but I don't even have an animal to come back and check on. But something brings me back home.
I'm the same way.
Are you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And we actually we had my folks looking after our dogs, but it's fun to get away, and then when you get home, it's like, dang, I'm glad I'm sleeping in my bed tonight.
Glad to be home. That might be just sleeping in the bed and all. So y'all were up there a couple of days or
I think we were up there 4 or 5 days.
4 or 5 days.
Yeah, so it was fun.
Yeah.
Had good weather, and finally got to do the dive, and of course Isabella experiencing all that was pretty neat. So. It was
good
fun.
family vacation.
Yes, sir.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We've got a lot of FWC stuff, so we're going to take a break and we'll come right back. Okay, welcome back. Officer Travis Bassford with FWC with us this morning. Y'all pretty well know him pretty good by now, and we're all really glad to have you, Travis. A couple of pictures sent in. I try to show them daily so we don't get all run, so we can just stay caught up with them. Billy Grantham coming down from Sneed's, fishing East Bay Monday morning. Folks, look at that nice redfish.
That's beautiful red.
Isn't that nice redfish?
Dang, that's pretty.
Billy and his sons and all, they fish East Bay a lot.
That's a healthy redfish.
Well, you look at that, how healthy it is right there.
I know it. Yeah, that's good. I've heard East Bay's been last month, really.
Yeah, it's been
really good for redfish.
And Billy, thank you for sending that picture in. Okay, now this is Dana Sewell Cole sent this in Florida. Dana she said, would anyone like to adopt a bear? He needs to find a new corn pile to hang out. And I guess bears, y'all hear a lot about bears now.
Well, we get bear. If you're on night shift, you're going to get bear calls. And, between them getting into garbage and everything else. And I think for the past month, I think everyone wants them to go find another corn pile. Well, if you're in Bay and Gulf County, we don't have as many up by us in Jackson, thank goodness. But they're frustrating for people that are trying to put their corn out for deer.
It's funny, we talked about it before, how they come up out of Apalachicola Forest along the coastline here, sort of, over there.
They like that, they like that more, I don't know, low pine area, and they've always been like that. But they have expanded their range. I mean, they're continuing to grow.
Yeah, that's true.
For sure.
Wow, so I know you got a lot of stuff here, so let's get started.
Got a little bit. One thing I want to talk about, this is the time of year that, everyone's getting excited to go hunting, and everyone, most people want to do it legal. We always have 3 groups of people we talk about FWC. We've got the main percentage that they're going to follow the law to the best of their ability no matter what, whether it's confusing or if it's easy to follow, whatever. And then you've got another very small percentage that they're going to violate no matter what as well.
They're outlaws.
And then you've got another percentage that that's not as big as our main group of law-abiding people, but given the opportunity, they will violate. And it's kind of like they don't go out there intentionally wanting to violate unless that opportunity presents itself. And so those are the 3 kind we deal with.
That's interesting, Travis, because I was talking to Rick about, you always had to me, it's always been good guys and bad guys.
Right.
But, there is, I guess as you say that, I think about, because, I've been with people we got 12 red snapper, but they're biting. Let's get 2 more red snapper.
Exactly.
And so I see. Yeah.
That's the thing, and we kind of, I mean, I kind of look at it as three groups. But yeah, I mean, I guess it will be good guys and bad guys, and that's kind of, part of our job is using discretion and figuring out, hey, which group are these people belonging to? Was it, and I know you always say ignorance of the law is no excuse, and it's not, but, there's a time for a ticket, there's a time for an arrest, and there's a time for a warning. So anyway, so, going on that, one of the main things about hunting, to be legal, you need to have your hunter safety if you were born after June 1st, 1975. Now, before that, you're exempt. Okay, but one thing about the hunter safety course, it's easy to do. I mean, they've made it it's just about as easy as you can get, especially if you just do the online. Mm-hmm. We have our traditional 2-day course. That's what I did when I was a kid. But the online, you can go on there, you can do your study guide, you do your exam, and then you just show up for your skills day. Right. And that's what a lot of people are doing. So I wrote down a few for our area coming up. The one here in Bay County is always out there at the shooting range, mm-hmm. Steelfield Road. Mm-hmm. Dennis Palmer, my shift partner, he teaches that a lot. He does a great job. I've been out there once or twice. It's really fun to see young people that are interested in the outdoors, which I know you've got a lot of experience with. But here in Bay County, we're going to have one on November 4th this weekend. Okay, that's for the internet students only, and then we're going to have a traditional course on the 18th and 19th of November. Okay. So you got a couple here in the month of November that you can get it before our general gun comes in for deer and stuff like that. Calhoun County, Bluntstown, it's going to be on the 18th, November 18th as well. Gulf County, that's at the administration building at Gulf CI. That's November 11th. And then Holmes County, right there in Bonifay at the Ag Center. Okay. That's going to be on November 4th. Okay, that's internet only. You can go online and find that, but this is some for our area I want to talk about. And if you're in Jackson County, you're going to have to drive, because I looked up that one, and the next class actually isn't going to be till March 2018. So come down to Panama, or go over to Gulf County or whatever. But if you want to get it done before our main seasons gets in, this is your opportunity to do it. Another thing too that I talked about last year around this time is the mentoring exemption program. I actually had a neighbor of mine who's an F-15 pilot that I took duck hunting a few times. Mm-hmm. He wasn't able to get his hunter safety, so we did the mentoring exemption program, which if you're a qualified hunter over 21 years of age, or you're exempt, that means qualified as in you've got your hunter safety. You can take someone who doesn't have it for 1 year. They can get their hunting license as long as they're under your supervision. Okay. Okay, and that lets someone, they created that a few years ago so they could actually try out hunting, see if they want to do it, and then go into the whole, wow, I'm going to get my hunter safety and donate that much time and effort. So.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That's a great idea.
Yeah, so that's a cool program that we've got, and he was able to do it, and he liked it. He enjoyed duck hunting, so he's going to do his hunter safety this year and be good to go, so if he wants to go on his own. So cool things coming up with hunter safety. And then of course we've got all our seasons coming up. I've been out of pocket, but I'm sure you're getting some good pictures of what deer and bow kills and stuff like that.
Nice bucks been taken. We have. Yeah, it's been good.
I had some buddies take some does. I haven't had a chance to go up there as busy as I've been up to our place, but I want to get up there soon. And I've heard with this weather that it's been good. They've been moving. And people have been able to harvest. But as it comes to deer, archery came in on October 21st. Mm-hmm. It's going to run through November 22nd. Another thing to remember with that, when years ago we used to have a archery that was bow and then crossbow. Mm-hmm. And I had a question the other day. I get questions all the time at gas stations and all stuff like that. But ours is all the same now, and a lot of states are like that.
It makes it simpler.
It does, and a lot of people that use a crossbow, sometimes they can't use a compound bow. So given different seasons for still being archery, it was kind of counterintuitive, as I guess what they were thinking. But it's the same thing. So if it's bow season, they call the first phase archery. It's bow or crossbow. And then the second phase, which is November 27th through December 1st, that's just in between that Thanksgiving split of general gun and our regular. They call that crossbow season, but it's bow or crossbow the entire time. So
that's interesting. A lot of people don't know that.
They don't, because when you look at the regulation, the second one says crossbow, but it's always bow or crossbow now. So just wanted to throw that out there.
Okay.
Yep. So good information. But we've got that coming in. Let's see, October 21st through November 22nd is going to be bow or crossbow, and then that second phase, November 22nd through December 1st. And I remember hunting years ago on that second little phase, and that's a good time to do it. A lot of people think, hey, once General Gun comes in, it shuts down, but because it's only the 4 days around Thanksgiving.
That window of time right there.
Exactly.
Is a good time. Yeah. I enjoy going in.
Yep. So it's a good time, but. You got anything else until you take a break?
We got all the season squared away?
Yeah, for deer. Okay. Yeah, I just want to go over that.
All right, well, let's take a quick break now, and we'll come back with our final segment. Hi, welcome back, folks. Sitting here with Travis. Most of y'all know Officer Travis Bassford, working hard every day to make sure we keep those outlaws in line and everybody knows our rules and regulations. That's a full-time job, isn't it?
It is.
Literally.
And there's a bunch of them out there. So.
Fishing Game Times today brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers. Looking on the screen there, 10:22 to 12:22, right in the middle of the day. And then tonight, 10:47 to 12:47. Okay, now you had a couple more things, and then we got a couple of cases a month.
We got some good cases a month. I know last time we didn't get to them, and I've got two this time, and there's some pretty good stories. At least one of them's pretty good. So.
I love these stories. Okay.
Yeah, they're always good. One thing I'll go over before we go over cases a month, duck season going to be coming in November 18th through the 26th. Okay, that's our first phase of regular duck season, and then the main phase, December 9th through January 28th. Just want to talk about ducks a little bit. It is the most highly regulated hunting activity that we have, in my opinion, as far as the license requirements and the rules and regulations surrounding duck hunting in general. I always encourage people, if you're new to it, go with an experienced hunter. Yeah. That way they can show you kind of the rules and the ropes, and that way you're not violating, because we talked about this before. You're trying to ID an animal coming in at 40, 50 mile an hour sometimes at daylight, and that can be difficult to do if you're not used to it or have that experience. One thing that changes a lot with ducks is our bag limits from year to year. They'll alter a little bit. The ones that are common to our area, most of them are staying the same. 3 wood ducks during regular season, 2 redheads or 2 bluebills, 6 teal and 6 ringnecks. Those are our most popular ducks. One thing that changes from 1 to 2 to sometimes 0 is canvasbacks. Mm-hmm. They're rarely seen here. I hear about some getting killed every once in a while. It's 2 canvasbacks this year, okay. So I want to get that out there. Right. And I'm hoping we have a good duck season. I had a friend of mine, actually another officer, send me some pictures the other day, some redheads already down with this cold front pushing some birds down. Last year was so mild, it just wasn't a very good duck season as far as numbers go. Another thing to remember with waterfowl, it's a migratory bird. You got to have your gun plugged. Okay, you can only hold 3 shells total in your shotgun. You can't put out bait, whether that be corn, seed, or anything like that. Your licenses. Had a guy the other day too asking about this. So ducks are migratory birds, so they're regulated by the state and the federal government, and we kind of follow the federal regulations. Mm-hmm. For the most part, but we do have some state licenses that are required. And someone said, well, I got a gold sportsman. A lot of people are familiar with a sportsman's license or a gold sportsman's license. I get a gold sportsman's license every year. That way I'm covered for everything. Yeah. Do I go down and get lobster anymore down south? Not really, but I'm covered with all my permits, okay? So for state, you got to have your hunting license and your state waterfowl permit. If you're hunting a wildlife management area, then you're going to need a WMA permit. Okay. And then for the feds, obviously, every time duck stamp migratory bird permit, that duck stamp's valid in all 50 states. So just because you have a gold sportsman, that doesn't mean you're good on ducks. You still need your federal license. Let's see. I think that's about it. Dove season, we're kind of in a little lull period in between the first and second phase. I didn't get to go this year. You heard about some good dove shoots?
I haven't. I heard a lot.
Okay. I had another guy that works with me. They did really good. That opening weekend, they had some brown top millet field they hunted over, and then once people started harvesting peanuts around them, the birds left. Yeah. So didn't get to go, but our second phase is going to be coming in on the 11th of November and a run through December 4th. Okay. So that's what's coming up with doves.
All right, case of the month.
Case of the month, okay. Let me talk about this one. I want to recognize 3 officers on this case. This is a really good case made around Lake Seminole, Apalachicola River, around the Jim Woodruff Dam, Highway 90 Bridge, that area. It was officers Eli Burkhead, Jared Hayes, and Eric Fletcher, okay? And those 3 guys were out working. actually Officer Fletcher received some information that some people were possibly illegally netting some freshwater fish in that area. And they had originally received information they thought the people were on a boat. Well, they got to the area, started conducting surveillance, actually Officer Burkhead and Hayes, and the people were actually on land instead of on a boat. So they started watching them, and sure enough, they were out there working a net, and they were kind of maneuvering for position and conducting surveillance, watched them. Looked like they were, harvesting freshwater fish with a net, and then Officer Fletcher ended up getting there a little bit later, but they ended up stopping the guys on the way out. And the first truck come out, one truck had the fish, and then the next truck had the net. The funny thing was there was no fishing rod and reels or anything like that. So
they jumped in the truck.
Yeah, they obviously, they were trying to split, the stuff, so they didn't have them together. But it was really good. No rod and reels or anything like that. They conducted some interviews. They admitted they got them with the net and all that.
Good deal.
And it was 59 panfish, or brim and shell cracker, 7 black bass, largemouth, what most people know as, and then 3 striped bass. Plus they had gar and catfish and everything else, because as we know, nets don't discriminate. They take a little bit of everything. So that was a real good case, and they were all 3 of the guys were charged with taking freshwater game fish by illegal method.
Very good. Got 1 minute on the other one. So.
Okay, that was a good one. And then I'll make this short and sweet. This was another one you don't hear about too often. It takes a lot of hard work, dedication, and patience usually to make these. But Officer Hank Forehand, he's a Jackson County officer, and I want to recognize him. He did a great job. He was on the Apalachicola River and saw a small boat occupied by 3 subjects. Looked like they had put no fishing poles on board again, and they put an electronic shocking device over and watched them taking some fish, and then he ended up making contact with them and charged them with that. So that stuff still goes on. That's one right there that's difficult to make because you've got to be there and watch it and actually catch them with it on the water, and he did a real good job. Same thing, taking fish, freshwater fish by illegal method with the shocker. So good job by Hank Forehand up there in Jackson
Very good.
County.
We got some stuff to talk about off the air too, but we're about to run out of time. Thank you so much, buddy.
Always enjoy it. Yes, sir.
Glad you're back.
Okay.
Thank you for all watching Panhandle Outdoors. We appreciate the viewership. Always do something good for your fellow man today. Do a good deed. You have a great day. Enjoy the great outdoors, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.